Happy Saturday morning. We're still in Homestead. Oh, good morning, Arlie. These little love bugs. How can you have a bad day when you wake up with these two little bugs? These little love bugs, right? Yeah, your sister's silly. Yeah, for sure. These two are so sweet. So it is Saturday, February 26th. 2022, and I'm in Love Language Minute, and today's title is The Peacemaker. I love these titles and how they just keep going with the road that I'm on. God blesses those who work for peace, for they will be called the children of God. Matthew 5, verse 9. If we are going to understand each other, we must identify our personality differences. There are many personality types, all of which have positives and negatives. And in the next few days, we'll look at the few today. We'll look at the peacemaker. This is the calm, slow, easygoing, well-balanced personality. This person is typically pleasant, doesn't like conflicts, seldom seems ruffled, and rarely expresses anger. Well, that'd be my dad. My dad was like that. He couldn't care. He could not handle any confrontation at all. He'd just flee from it. And I won't tolerate it. I'm like, seriously? You think you're going to do that? No. I make people accountable for their actions. Because I'm tired of just sitting there and taking the abuse. The peacemaker has emotions but does not easily reveal them. In a marriage, the peacemaker, once calm, tends to ignore disagreement and avoids arguments at all costs. And I saw that. I saw that with my dad. His ex-wife, Sharon, was she a trip? I called her the evil stepmother, and she was. And then, when I hired an attorney to help my dad get divorced, I saw how evil she was. And she thought it was a good thing I called her that. Some people just don't pay attention. It was not. That was not a positive description of her. I was hoping that would change her attitude. She just was a nice person. This person is very pleasant to be around. However, the downside of this personality is that conflict are often left unresolved. And then they keep growing and get worse. To the point with my dad, he just shut down. And the abuse had stricken him so much that he'd either have a seizure or he'd try to hurt himself. That's what happens to people like this. That's what I saw, at least in my dad. Now, maybe not all peacemakers are like that, but I saw what happened to my dad. If the couple does get into an argument, the peacemaker will try to calm the other person by acquiescing, even if he does not agree. He is kind-hearted and sympathetic and wants everybody just to enjoy life. However, if a peacemaker is married to a controller, she may be steamrolled and eventually suffer in silent anger. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus expressed blessing for the peacemakers and said that they will be called children of God. My dad was an assistant chaplain in the Army. What a wonderful statement. James 3:18. Give a further accolade for this personality type. Those who are peacemakers will plant seeds of peace and reap a harvest of high righteousness. If you are married to a peacemaker, thank God for it. Also be careful not to take advantage of your spouse's easygoing nature. I wish that would have happened with my dad. It's unreal. Everybody loved my dad. My dad had so much love for everyone he met, yet she was so controlling, so abusive to my dad. My dad had a seizure and she offered him a cup of coffee instead of calling 911. It took his best friend Ed coming over. And I don't remember if he called 911 or drove him down there himself. But his own wife let them sit there, struggling. Father, I am thankful for my spouse's desire to be a peacemaker. I know that you bless this attitude. Please help me to appreciate it fully and not to use it for my own gain. Well, Lord knows the peace that I'm trying to create, I can't be somebody that won't resolve conflict, because they're going to have to go together. And since I'm fearless, it is what it is. I wish my dad had an ounce of it, because if he would have had an ounce of it, it would have grown. But I could never talk to him about it. I mean, if any scary movies, he wasn't no part of it, he'd have nightmares. And I know it stemmed back from when he was married to my mother, because he joined the army to get away from the fire of my mother. It just all makes sense. And when you get all the noise out of your head, all the pieces of the puzzle, all your I's get dotted, your T's get crossed. But you got to get rid of the outside noise in order to focus and be able to understand your life better. And I'm telling you, you want to talk about a revelation when that happens? Oh boy, it's like all the dominoes start falling in all the right places. Just like with my temporary homelessness is what I'm calling it. Of the injustices in the world. And you know, I put the camera here because I thought you'd be able to see this beautiful view. And the light is too bright, even though the sun is over there rising and we've got a building. So you tell me why I've got the light. But it's a beautiful view and the girls love it. It's like they're at home. They're on a roost where our room number is 505. That's not an accident. My address back home is 555. So, just saying. It's crazy how things happen and the path that God puts you on. You don't know, you don't understand why until you really sit down and digest it all. It's a lot to take in. And that's why sometimes, like early on when I was on this path, I thought one thing, but then it was something else. So it's almost like I've got to sleep on it to let it come to the top, the surface. And no doubt that's why the video that I did earlier this morning was, the first one I did was, I think, between 3 and 4 or something like that. When God wakes you up. I mean, I never know what I'm going to say, what I'm going to do. If I'm going to open up one of these and it's going to add to them, I just go with it. And I realize the two court cases I've already won were the stepping stones of this big one. And this is going to be huge. Because this is not little, what I'm a part of. I'm just one piece of the many tenants that have been wronged in the Keys. And I got my feet wet in Indiana when I was told they were going to take my stuff. So, having everything in that house be a corporate asset was easy. And I didn't even think about it at the time. But I did it so that Phil Wagaman would get some type of restitution for his generosity of taking care of me. That's why I set up companies, because I figured you know what? He doesn't get credit on his taxes for taking care of me. So why not start a business? Totally illegal. Learning for the disabled. A house of healing. And teach people things as I'm teaching myself. So that the money that he used to take care of me, his hard-earned money, he gets something back from it, even though he never asked for anything. I always asked for permission to spend it because it wasn't my money to spend. Yet, here I am. And he won't return my phone calls. Since January. And I've done nothing wrong. All I did is love him unconditionally. And all I've done is try to help him. So, all I can do is pray for him to find his way. But I didn't realize how much by doing that, thinking of him was going to help me as well. That's how my brain is constantly working, is trying to figure out how people can benefit from certain situations. So instead of him getting money, so to speak, right out of the gate, I gave him a title of vice president in my company. Oh, Lord knows he doesn't need to be the president. But that's what I did for him. Because everything in that house helped with my healing, helped with my learning. Hannah, Harley, shush. Helped with my learning, etc. So I didn't, just because I was sick, didn't mean I wasn't doing things to better myself. And by bettering myself, I can help others. And that's why I'm here. That's why I've always been here, right? So, hope you enjoyed my video. Happy Saturday. I'm gonna miss my peeps at the market today because I'm not gonna come home for that. I'm gonna start working on what I need to work for to file the appeal. So, since the attorney that I offered to pay would not take payment, he made the choice to do it pro bono. Quit. Told me I needed to find an attorney that dealt with tenant-landlord disputes. And it's kind of funny, when I was Googling them, the majority of them aren't for the tenants. They're for the landlords. See where the injustice are? And I know there's tenants. There are tenants that do not take care of properties. I'm not one of them. And I've got plenty of videos to prove it. Plenty of them. I protected that asset for that lien holder more than the people with the debt. And they wanted to kick me out of there and put my stuff in a prison, a jail cell, by putting brand new locks on the doors. So what? What are they going to gain from all that? Well, I'm just staying in a nice hotel and going to get reimbursed for it. Trust me, and I will get it all out of them. Harley. Hey, shh. Because my medical is a huge factor of it all. But when you got girls like this, thank the Lord, they're here to help. Right, girls? Right? Yeah. I still can't believe the sheriff says, well, are you taking your dogs? Right, I'm going to lock them into a house and leave them. Are you kidding me? What kind of animal would ask such a question? Seriously. I was like, You didn't just say that out loud, did you? Oh, yeah, he did. You need to go talk to that Indiana wife of his. Get straightened out again. Oh, yeah. My words that I spoke to him should haunt him for the rest of his life. So that when he shows up at anybody else's house, he better get the facts. Just saying. But let's work on one thing at a time. There's too many things to work on here. I had no idea I was going into a can of worms. Or snakes. So, hope you enjoyed my video. Stay tuned, I got more coming.